evening. Welcome to the Buck Stops Here weekend edition. I'm Ankita Mukherjee. The Bihar crisis intensifying today with Chief Minister Jitan Ram Manjhi declaring all-out war against Nitish Kumar. As the BJP says, there is urgent need for fresh elections in Bihar, and the JDU cries foul. We ask tonight, is it crisis or conspiracy in Bihar? Also on the show tonight, as all exit polls predict an Aam Aadmi Party victory in Delhi, despite whatever the results are, could Delhi become the launchpad for new national alliances? That big discussion also coming up in a moment. But first, let's get you the big story, the big political story on Bihar today. The Bihar Chief Minister coming to Delhi, meeting with the Prime Minister and then having a press conference shortly afterwards where he said he was indisputably the Chief Minister of the state and willing to prove his majority. He also made Nitish Kumar a target. Let's listen in.
Today I am very much Chief Minister and will prolong till the legislature party of the Janata Dal United decide otherwise.
A belligerent Jitan Ram Manjhi refusing to step down as Bihar Chief Minister, even after Party Chief Sharad Yadav sacked him as leader of the party in the Bihar Assembly, appointing Nitish Kumar in his place. The Speaker has also acknowledged Nitish as the party's leader in the House. Manjhi's defiance today has only further worsened the political crisis in the ruling JDU, which could be headed for a split. But the Chief Minister, who is in the capital, played it cool, first attending the Niti Aayog meeting called by the Prime Minister, and later in the evening, a pre-scheduled meeting to discuss development projects in Bihar with the Prime Minister at his residence.
While Manjhi looked to woo BJP leaders in the capital, his party in Patna is gearing to meet with the governor on Monday in a show of strength for Nitish Kumar as its leader.
Long time back, he is in touch with the BJP leaders, and the script of the division of the Janata Dal U has been written here in Ashok Road by Shri Amit Shah and his mentor Shri Narendra Modi.
With elections in Bihar at the end of the year, the BJP also keen on consolidating its position in the state. But the lack of support for the Mahadalit leader in his own party has so far kept the BJP from openly coming out to back the CM.
ये जो बिहार में आज हो रहा है उसके लिए कोई एक व्यक्ति जिम्मेदार है तो वो नीतीश कुमार जी जिम्मेदार हैं। बिहार आज पिछड़ रहा है क्योंकि बिहार में शासन के नाम पर कोई चीज नहीं है, द्वंद है। कभी शाम में मांझी जी ने कैबिनेट बैठक बुलाई है, उधर विधायक दल की बैठक है, और ये साफ तौर पे जाहिर है कि जदयू के आंतरिक कलह की वजह से आज बिहार प्रभावित हो रहा है। बिहार की जनता जदयू के नेताओं को इसके लिए कभी क्षमा नहीं करेगी।
Manjhi has said he would ask the governor on Monday about expanding his cabinet. 20 ministers had resigned in a bid to put pressure on Manjhi, but now the embattled chief minister plans to use those posts to win him support.
तो अभी हमारे के यहाँ जब वो लोग 20 रिजाइन किए हैं, उसमें हम चाहते हैं वो 5 हम तो बर्खास्त किया है 17 का, तो 17 दूनी 34, 17 आदमी नया मिनिस्टर बना सकते हैं, इंक्लूडिंग डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर, और उतना ही पार्लियामेंट्री सेक्रेटरी भी हम बना सकते हैं।
क्या आप बीजेपी से सपोर्ट लेंगे?
फ्लोर पर जो भी हमको समर्थन देंगे उनका समर्थन लेने में हमको कोई हिच नहीं होगी।
तो अगर 1/3 से ज्यादा है पार्टी के, फिर तो वो अलग हो सकते हैं। अगर 1/3 से कम है तो फिर उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई हो सकती है अंडर द 10th शेड्यूल, तो उनको निष्कासित किया जा सकता है।
Both Manjhi and his party chief are now expected to meet the governor on Monday. With Siddharth Pandey, Ankita Mukherjee for NDTV. Well, facing off tonight on the buck stops here, Pavan Verma, Rajya Sabha MP from the Janata Dal United, Aman Sinha, spokesperson for the BJP. Pavan Verma, an extraordinary situation seems to be unfolding in Bihar. Is a split in the Janata Dal United now inevitable?
There is no split, Ankita. It's not an extraordinary situation, it's an unfortunate situation. The Janata Dal United Legislative Party met yesterday. There were 100 MLAs roughly of the JDU. The RJD, the Congress and the CPI have given written letters of total support to the JDU under the leadership of Mr. Nitish Kumar. The total adds up to close to 130 when the required majority in the House is 118. So there's a clear situation where the JDU has changed its leader in the legislature and appointed and elected Mr. Nitish Kumar to lead the party. He has the majority. It's verifiable and provable, and therefore he should be allowed to form the government and run the state until
Yet
the
you have
assembly
an
elections
existing
at the
chief
end of the
minister
year.
who says he has the support, he has the numbers and is willing to prove his majority. That's why I call it an extraordinary situation.
Yes, in that sense, I said it's unfortunate, Ankita, because it's very clear that Mr. Jitan Ram Manjhi has the rump of the cabinet, some 7 ministers, of which several are not even members of the Legislative Assembly. They are members of the upper house, and perhaps some handful of MLAs, which is far short anywhere, even remotely, of his being able to prove a majority. What we are afraid of is that they will use this period for this completely abhorrent politics of trying to break and make majorities on the basis of money power. It happened in the Rajya Sabha election, my own election, where the BJP, while saying that we have no interest, these are rebel MLAs of the JDU, came out openly in support, and the kind of money power that was used in those elections was something that Bihar had never seen. I say that BJP should learn a lesson from the Delhi elections and the expected results.
I want the BJP
this kind of backdoor entry into power is exceptionally unethical and unconstitutional.
May I respond?
Aman Sinha, yes, absolutely. The timing of Mr. Manjhi's press conference right after a meeting with the Prime Minister, the significance of that, of course, was not lost on anyone today. And if you'll pardon the pun, is the BJP using Manjhi to fish in troubled waters now?
No, Ankita. JDU is gripped with internal strife and division, and people of Bihar are suffering with all the misgovernance that the government has had for past so many years after BJP had moved out of the alliance, and it is absolutely unfair and unfortunate that our friends from JDU are trying to attribute and impute motives upon BJP, and it's an internal issue of the JDU. We are closely watching the situation. There is a constitutional crisis which has been perpetuated due to their own internal strife and division, and governor will take a call on it. So therefore, there is nothing much for us to.
But Jitan Ram Manjhi has said he's ready to accept support from anybody. This in specific response to a question about whether he would take support from your party or not.
No, Ankita, that question is not confronting us today. If at all that question is posed on the floor of the House, our legislature party will take an appropriate view. But this is not the stage for considering that question right now.
Pawan Verma, Jitan Ram Manjhi has also made this a caste battle today, saying Nitish Kumar believed by making a Mahadalit the chief minister, he would essentially get a rubber stamp CM.
Let me say to you, Ankita, that Mr. Manjhi was Mr. Nitish Kumar's choice. He had been a colleague in his cabinet for many years. And he expected Mr. Manjhi to work independently but to carry forward the USP of Mr. Nitish Kumar and of Bihar under his rule, which is that of governance. Mr. Nitish Kumar changed the profile and the substance of Bihar. And Mr. Nitish Kumar expected Mr. Manjhi to continue that story. There are two things that Aman said which provide the key. He said that for some time now, governance was not visible.
Right.
Now, after the JDU left the BJP, all the verifiable criteria to judge governance were proceeding well. We expected under Mr. Manjhi for them to continue, but Mr. Aman Sinha himself said that suddenly that story was unraveling. And there were several occasions on which Mr. Nitish Kumar met with Mr. Manjhi.
Unraveling
and
from the moment BJP left.
And not
Mr.
to interfere. Aman, I didn't interrupt you.
No, may I just respond quickly?
Okay, very quickly, I'm completely out of time here.
No, please go ahead, Pawanji. I just wish to respond to what you're saying. Because you were trying to put words into my mouth.
No, you said that the lack of governance, and you said that Mr. Manjhi, the BJP is waiting to watching an incident. The BJP is waiting with its support, Mr. Manjhi can, through the politics, the unethical politics of trying to buy and horse trading of legislators, if they can somehow prop together a majority. It's very unethical. It's a backdoor entry to power which is not going to be accepted
and we've already
by the
heard the
people of
BJP's
Bihar.
response to
It's
that, so I'm going
skullduggery.
to leave it at that for the moment. And of course, perhaps the Bihar governor will hold the key when
but
those
just
meetings
adding
take
to
place.
it, Ankita,
Yes, very
briefly
quickly,
adding
sir.
to it,
Very quickly.
Mr. Nitish Kumar seems to be so desperate to move into chief. No, the whole trouble, the whole situation has been perpetuated because Mr. Nitish Kumar has
actually it's the opposite. The BJP is desperate to gain power from the backdoor entry.
All right. We'll leave it at that for the moment. We've clearly not heard the last word
that we see in Bihar
on the
today.
Bihar crisis, and perhaps the governor will hold the key when those meetings take place tomorrow. But we'll move on for the moment onto our second focus tonight. At least 10,000 security personnel, including from the paramilitary forces, have been deployed to guard 20,000 electronic voting machines in which the votes cast in Saturday's Delhi Assembly polls remain locked. Neha is joining us at this point from one such strong room where these EVMs are being kept. The workers of various political parties now standing guard. Neha, what's the fear?
Ankita, it's actually not all political parties, but only the Aam Aadmi Party that has deployed its volunteers. Even a day after voting, they're still at work here. And I'm outside one of the counting centers in South Delhi, where the results of 8 constituencies will be declared from. There is heavy security, as you mentioned. There is a 3-tier security here. But the Aam Aadmi Party not convinced that these EVMs are secure enough and have deployed their own volunteers who've been here for the entire day. क्या कारण है कि आप लोग दिन भर से यहाँ पे निगरानी रख रहे हैं?
नहीं, जो पार्टी से आदेश मिले थे, जैसे कि विधायक जी ने बताया था कि यहाँ पे आप लोगों को रुकना है। इसके बाद हमारा काम ये है कि जो भी लोग अंदर जा रहे हैं, बाहर आ रहे हैं, उन लोगों पे निगरानी रखें। जो भी गाड़ी अंदर जाते हैं उसको देख रहे हैं, इस गाड़ी में क्या है, कौन लोग जा रहे हैं, कैसे नहीं आ रहे। उसके बाद में जिसमें शक होता है उस गाड़ी को रोक के सिक्योरिटी वाले बोलते हैं इस गाड़ी में क्या है, कैसे अंदर जा रही है, पास कहाँ है, उस चीज के बारे में पूछ रहे हैं। क्योंकि हमें इस भरोसा है, मगर बीजेपी कांग्रेस वाले बिल्कुल भी भरोसा नहीं है कब ये क्या करवा दें।
इलेक्शन कमीशन पे भरोसा नहीं है आप लोगों को?
इलेक्शन कमीशन पे बहुत भरोसा है मैडम, बहुत ज्यादा भरोसा है, लेकिन कांग्रेस और भाजपा पे भरोसा नहीं है।
और हम लोग रात के लिए क्या इंतजाम किया है?
रात के लिए मैडम यहाँ पे हम गाड़ियां हैं हमारी, हम इनके अंदर ही जो 4-5 कार्यकर्ता हैं, ऐसे 2-3 गाड़ियां हैं, हम लोग यहीं रुकेंगे रात के टाइम में। और सुबह जो दूसरी विधानसभा के लोग वो यहाँ पे आ जाएंगे और उसके बाद हम लोग यहाँ चले जाएंगे।
Right, so they've come prepared to spend the night here in their cars, which will keep a watch on these counting centers across the city. Ankita?
All right, clearly, despite those exit polls giving them the numbers, the Aam Aadmi Party really sort of taking this right down to the wire, not, taking their eyes off those EVMs till counting begins. Neha, thanks very much for joining us with that update. Well, as we're saying, almost all exit polls predicting a victory for the Aam Aadmi Party. But irrespective of those results, has the Delhi election now catapulted the AAP into becoming a rallying point for anti-BJP forces? And could Delhi, in fact, become a launch pad for a new national political dynamic? Joining us tonight, Sajay Kapoor, editor, Hard News Magazine. From the Congress, Anika Mehrotra, and Pawan Verma continues to be with us from the Janata Dal United, Aman Sinha from the BJP, and Atishi Marlena, spokesperson for the Aam Aadmi Party, also joining us. Atishi, why don't you begin? Do you believe that Delhi could well be a launch pad now, not just for the Aam Aadmi Party, but for an all-new political dynamic nationally?
I think, Ankita, Aam Aadmi Party represents a new kind of politics. Aam Aadmi Party represents a politics that is not run by large corporate funding. Aam Aadmi Party represents anti-corruption politics. Aam Aadmi Party represents participatory politics. And that is the reason that the people of Delhi seem to have decided for a second time that they want the Aam Aadmi Party here. And I think this is the reason that there is a possibility for a new kind of politics emerging, because the people of India clearly seem to want an alternative. They want an alternative because irrespective of the governments that have come to power, be they be Congress, be they BJP, nothing changes for the common person of the city. They still don't have access to education, high quality education. They still don't have access to health, water, electricity, basic residential
beyond Delhi. Do you see this as a kind of alternative politics that you now can take
Ankita,
nationally?
May I respond?
I think, Ankita, right now our focus will be on Delhi in terms of actually providing good governance to Delhi. But Aam Aadmi Party does represent a new kind of politics, and the fact that we have succeeded in Delhi for a second time shows that the people of the entire country are looking for an alternative.